So are all those buildings too.
Oh,
the barrel
bro.
totally was
Wow.
just outside.
That was 2,000 damage right there. That was a full-on colony dead. All right, I'm going for the capital. So if we were losing this fight pretty heavily.
We can't go to the capital yet.
Why?
The phase jump inhibitors.
It's still up?
It's still up.
ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome to a sponsored video for Sins of a Solar Empire, at least as the franchise. Did you know this game came out 16 years ago?
We don't know where they came from. But we do know they are desperate. And they've been on the run for a long, long time.
16 years. I hope you feel old, because I do. It's been one of my go-to for LAN parties since 2008. And in 2010, back when I used to run them when I was in the US Air Force, we'd take over 2 floors of day rooms in the dorm in Japan. And I ended up with like 24 people on our largest LAN party. And this one was always, by popular demand, in the rotation for games. So when StarDoc reached out and said, hey, do you wanna do a video talking about Sins? Because we're doing a sale, I said, yeah, sure, why not? It has been a go-to on this channel for the life of it, 13, 14 years now. A link will be in the description below if you want to check out the franchise sale. It's going to be probably different for other regions. Right now, the big ones are, I would recommend the Rebellion for the original game. And then for the sequel, which is just buying the sequel, I want to say that one's like $35 for the sequel. If you're unfamiliar, Sins of the Solar Empire is a real-time 4X strategy game that's had a number of expansions with the base game, and even more recently, a sequel has dropped. Real-time is the key word for this series. That was its claim to fame back in 2008, when most of the other 4X space strategy games were turn-based affairs like Imperium Galactica or the Civ series, which isn't space-based, but there was a mod for Sins, I want to say 3 that was space-based. It was really cool. Anyways, Sins blew our minds with multi-sector maps full of different planetoids and asteroids, each orbiting their sun, not actually moving, but that's how you moved between these solar systems, was between the sun points. These were the anchor points on the map where fleets would fly between them. Real time, though, was the key there, managing your fleets and moving them around, wondering whether or not you should get that far away from your home world, but you have to defend it, but you also have to expand the empire, and if you don't, the empire is dying. So that was the fun of the entire game. 4X elements are lighter than other games in the genre and are dedicated to when your fleets are moving between planets and moons and asteroids in real time. You don't feel it as much, not having all the deeper mechanics you would see in other 4X turn-based games. It also avoids the ever-increasing pop-up mechanic that's become far more the norm in 4X space games. I don't know about you, but they're fun at the beginning. When you see these pop-ups and they help tell your story of your empire, quickly feels like spam after your 3rd or 6th run in the game. Sins doesn't have that. At the moment, caveat, they are currently developing Sins 2, and they do want to do a campaign. So, who knows how the stories will be told in a campaign. Sins have always lacked a story, as none of the games have campaigns. The newer title for Sins of the Solar Empire 2 does have challenge maps, and they're planning on building out a campaign. A campaign will be a first for the franchise, mind you. We're all curious how that's going to work. It's always been a skirmish game with 3 factions, technically 6 after some of the expansions dropped for the first game, but it's really 3 core factions with another 3 mirror factions to those core ones that have some tweaks and new units and different kind of focus on their gameplay. This is true as the sequel as well. Still 6 factions, but it's really 3 split. Though I'd argue the differences are a bit more interesting in Sins 2 than the original, interact with some factions that populate the map. What really makes the Sins games shine beyond any of this is the modability of the engine and the tools that came with it. Over the last 16 years, Sins has had some downright amazing mods, right? Thrawn's Revenge, yes, the same group as the Empire War mod, Sins of the Prophets, which is a Halo-inspired mod, and then STA3, my personal favorite, and I think the only mod the Great Total Biscuit ever made a video on. We miss you, TB. The big news over the last year has been all about Sins 2, right? That's released the most recently. We've played it here a bit on the channel. It has had some major overhauls and updates, with the most recent one taking a crack at just a major rebalance of the game, with almost all units gaining a substantial amount of health to slow down fights so players can have, I think, a larger chance to respond to threats and do a little bit more micromanagement with all the capital shift abilities that you can kick off. Sins 2 is not a massive departure from the original game. It builds on a new engine. It's starting with 64-bit capability that the original game didn't have, so it gets around the memory issues that the original game does have. If you unaware, the original game and a lot of older RTSs, or older games in general, are built on 32-bit, and they can't make use of all the RAM that modern systems have, and a lot of mod authors for a lot of these games will push that memory limit to the brink, and if they cross that limit, then the game is very likely to crash. Some modding communities are better than others at this. Sins has always been pretty good. They could push it up to the limit without going over, and you wouldn't have as many crashes. Unlike some communities, looking at you, Dawn of War, modders will just go ham with it, and it will crash more often than not, which is always frustrating. Anyways, Sins 2 isn't going to have that problem, or it doesn't have that problem, but it doesn't have the level of modding or mods have actually come out. All we've had is a few teasers for the big mod teams on work in progress. We'll be keeping an eye on those as it goes forward, but keep that in mind if you're looking at picking up either the original or the sequel. You know what you're getting into. That's the point of this whole video. The newest DLC for Sins 2 sets up a bunch of challenge maps that feel more like a needed stepping stone in the engine capability than something I'd really want to dive into at any real length. But for those hungry for content outside of the standard multiplayer or skirmish style that Sins is known for, it is an option that's there. Be warned, they are single player at the moment. They are not multiplayer. Well, this is Future Shack. That's not exactly true. So there is an opt-in beta for one of the missions, the Defend Homeworld mission, and the other scenarios are actually getting worked on for multiplayer. So that's a thing. If you're going to pick up the base game, get Rebellion. It's got all you need to play with mods and is a great first run at a super dirt cheap price. There's so much content there in the base game, which is really enjoyable, and as well as all of the support that the community has given into it in the years, building up all those mods. Very, very cool. If you're looking for something a little bit more modern and you want to watch the modding community grow and see how they update and patch the game for these different factions and their balance, then take a look at Sins 2. It looks and plays better on modern hardware, just hands down. Sins of a Solar Empire, they've got this sale going on until March 1st, so if you're really interested in it, you can pick it up. Again, the link is in the description. Thank you, Star Doc, for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And if you guys are old-time Sins players, are you playing a lot of Sins 1? Are you playing modded? Have there been any new mods that I am completely unaware of? Let me know in the comments below. I've been thinking about diving back into Sins 1 a little bit while we watch Sins 2 develop. I'm kind of missing it. Let me know. I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.